Hey guys, Joe. Just watched a video by Pop's Quest. I think he titled it Men Need to Be Selfish Assholes, which I wouldn't use that language at all, but a lot of women probably would. And it's basically about how guys need to go do guy stuff. And I've been thinking about something for a while and wanting to make a video that segues just so perfect into that I figured, to heck with it, I'm not going to wait till I get home. I'm going to just do it now. I'm out in California right now at the old homestead, at the old farm, taking care of some stuff and helping with my brother-in-law's estate. But anyway, he just, to sum up his video, go watch it. But to sum up his video, he basically said guys need to take the time to go do guy stuff. And I couldn't agree more. And this is what I think is happening. Men and women, the male female relationship is at an all time low on planet wide. Population is crashing. Any country you go to, including North Korea, shockingly enough, people have stopped breeding pretty much. And the relationships are, getting few and far between. Young people aren't dating. They're just not interested. And you get phrases like the juice isn't worth the squeeze and stuff like that. And I think one of the roots of the problem is that men and women have been shoved together by the modern world and are spending too much time together, and they're working on the same projects together. And let me explain why that's a problem. Whether you want to go with caveman days or whether you want to say since the fall from the Garden of Eden or whatever, doesn't matter. It's all the same. However you want to view it. Early humans living in a natural state, in the state for which we were designed, it wasn't big cities and stuff. That didn't come till much, 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 much later. Early humans lived in tribes, and this is the way tribes in general operate. Now, I don't want to hear the Unga Bunga tribe in South New Guinea or whatever does this or that. There's always exceptions to everything. I am painting with a broad brush. But I'm Joe Primal after all. Trust me on how primal people live. Now, I've seen enough videos and films of tribes and things like that. And this is how it goes. Early in the morning, the early risers get up. They start the fires going. They get some breakfast going. Other people stumble out of their huts. There's a sort of informal communal breakfast. Then the men and the boys of a certain age and ability go out hunting. And by hunting, I don't mean just hunting. They might go catch some fish. They might gather some berries. They might steal some honey from some bees. They might dig up some roots, whatever they come across. They go out and they travel a route, and they gather up stuff. They stop and have a little impromptu lunch from the stuff that they found, and then they continue. And in the evening, they come home and bring home the bacon, as it were. And then there's a little communal supper as things get cooked and people kind of hang around and all that kind of stuff and share the stories of the day. And then in some tribes, especially tropical tribes, and I don't know why, the men tend to go off to a hunting lodge thing for the evening. And then later that night, they go back to their huts where the women and children are asleep. And maybe they make more little hunter-gatherers for the next generation. I don't know, whatever. And then in other tribes, the communal supper kind of just turns into people hanging around and doing their thing. But the key feature here is that the men and women don't work on the same task very much. Very small amount of men and women actually working together on the same task. And the men and women don't spend much time together. Men spend most of the day with men doing man things. Women spend most of the day with women doing women things. And even up until recent generations, like the boomer generation, that was the way it kind of was. The men went out and worked with the other men in the workplace. Then they came home, and then they spent the evenings with their wives and children, and so on and so forth. Rinse and repeat. Now, in the tribal thing, there's no Saturday and Sunday or whatever. It's every day, same thing. Um, and also, now when we study tribes, we see these elaborate ceremonies and feathers and all this crap. It's been pretty well established that mostly the tribes never really did that stuff, and that these elaborate ceremonies and things are largely things that were invented to entertain early explorers who they found the more elaborate the show, the more explorers would visit and bring them gifts and all this stuff. So they might have some religious ceremonies and things, but it was nothing like this nonsense that we grew accustomed to on TV. So anyway, that's the synopsis. And I think that's at the heart of the problem. You see so much when people retire, they start really having trouble getting along. There's all kinds of problems. There's a huge spike in divorces after retirement, which is bizarre. But it's because of that. It's because you really don't know each other that well, because you really did not spend that much of your lives together. You spent a bit of each day together and maybe some weekends and things like that. So I'm not saying that women have to do this and men have to do that, or that women can't participate in men thing, whatever. I'm just saying that guys need to do guy stuff because we are built for it. We are designed from the tops of our heads, the bottom of our feet, to do that. And if you're not in alignment with your design purpose, with what you're made to do, you're not going to be happy, and you're not going to make people around you very happy, and things aren't going to work well. And by the same token, we need to let the women do the women thing the way they want to do it. We have a real tendency to come in and try and impose logic and efficiency upon women doing their women events and their women stuff, our version of logic and efficiency. And we need to kind of stop doing that. Try and just get out of their stuff. Let them do their thing their way, and insist on doing your thing your way. And I think we'll find a lot more happiness. Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth. I welcome your inputs and ideas and thoughts on this, but basically, men and women aren't that compatible. I'm out.